Good morning. It's Friday, August 26, 16. Now, the first two questions in your guided notes are a little bit messed up. The first question should read, Brittany Reese won gold in the long jump, long distance running in the 2012 Olympics with a 7.12 meter jump. How long is this in inches? We have to convert our meters to inches. So at this time, what I'd like for you to do is I'd like for you to hit pause on this video. Go ahead and set up your T-charts. Solve it, and when you're done, hit play. Okay, so hopefully you set it up as you started with your meters, used a conversion of 0.305 meters is 1 foot. Then, of course, that cancels, but we want inches, of course. So now we've got to convert our feet to inches. So we get an answer of 280.13 inches. All right, question number 2. The marathon is a 42.195 kilometer event we want to convert that to feet. Of course, we start out with this. And we figure out how we can get over to feet. How can we do that? Go ahead and hit pause, work yours, and then check your answer. All right, I first converted my kilometers to miles. And then I converted my mile to feet. And my answer is 138,378 and 63/100ths feet. Hope yours is the same. All right, getting into the, think about the following scenarios and what units would be appropriate for these. For these units, we're talking about 2 units. 1 unit up top and 1 unit down bottom, because most of these are unit rates, and we know unit rates always have a 1 type of unit on the bottom. So water filling up a swimming pool, we wouldn't go by pints. Of course, we would go by gallons, probably per minute for water filling up a swimming pool. Let's think about the cost of tiling a kitchen floor. We know cost is always going to be dollars, and dollars always go up top. So we know it's going to be $1. And when you buy things to cover an area, it's a square. You multiply length times width, and we measure things in feet here in the United States, so it's going to be feet squared, or square footage. Number 3, the effect of gravity on a falling object. Okay, we know that that's going to fall pretty quickly, so we know it's going to be per 1 second. So I would say, depending on if you're in the United States, it would be feet per second. If you were using the international units, the metric system, it would be meters per second. What about a snail traveling across the sidewalk? They move very slow. So I would say we could either measure it in a minute with either inches or centimeters, or you could do an hour, but it would have to be feet or meters. They only average about a foot an hour, by the way. I looked it up. All right, let's keep going with our practice problems. read number 1, set it up on your paper, pause the video now, and then when you're done, hit play. This, of course, is a double conversion. We have to convert it from feet to centimeters. So I went from feet to inches, and I do have a conversion from inches to centimeters. Of course, feet cancels out, inches cancel out. I'm left with centimeters, which is what I want. So your answer should have been 121.92 centimeters. All right, look at number 2. Do the same thing. Set it up, pause this, work it out, and once you have an answer, hit play. So this one is an interesting one because you had to set up 3 conversions. So you start out with 30 tons. Per day. Yeah, every day. So we've got 2 conversions. And we want to end up with pounds per minute. That's what we want to end up with. So I've got to get pounds on top and minutes down bottom. So minutes is probably the easiest one for me to convert to. So I know 1 day is 24 hours. And 1 hour is 60 minutes. All right, so days cancel, hours cancel, tons hasn't canceled yet, but I'm left with minutes, so I'm good there. Now I got to get this to cancel, your tons. So I've got to look at my conversion chart, and lo and behold, 2,000 pounds is 1 ton. So I can do 2,000 pounds for 1 ton. Now my tons cancel, and I'm left with pounds over minutes, which is exactly what I want. So now I just multiply across the bottom, multiply across the top, multiply across the bottom, and divide. So let's see if you got the same answer as me. How about that? 41.7 pounds per minute. Remember, the word per is your fraction bar. All right, go ahead and set up number 3. Pause, and then we'll go over it. See if you've got the same answer as me. So kilometers canceled, millimeters canceled, and I was left with liter, which is what the question was asking me for. All right, let's look at number 4. Set up number 4 on your paper and see how it compares to Susie's work. Hit pause and then play. Oh goodness, Susie mixed up her units. She didn't put yards on the bottom, so her yards didn't cancel. She would actually get yards squared over feet doing it her way. So she's all messed up. So she should have put yards on the bottom. All right, number 5. You're going to have to make a chart for each one. Caitlin, Titania, and Denasia, and figure out which one crossed the finish line first. I'll give you a hint. I would do it in inches per second because I think that would be the easiest. Hit pause if you haven't, work it out, and then hit play when you're ready to check your answer. Of course, we want to go to inches per second.
Good morning, the following students.
Now I've got to convert this 1760 yards to inches. Just my chart had to come down to the bottom because I was running out of room. So you multiply 10 times 1760 times 36 on top, and then divide it by 3600. So Titania's time is 176 inches per second. I think you probably figured out Denasia's is 204 inches per second. So who was the fastest? Caitlin was the fastest at 228 inches per second. Did all that work, and hers was already given to us. Ha ha ha. All right, number 6. Go ahead, work it out, and then check your answer. All right, you probably figured out they would need 5 pizzas, and 5 pizzas would cost $73.90. So no, she doesn't have enough. And number 7. I would convert them to miles. That way you can tell which one is less than 200 miles away. So hopefully you've got yes, they can go to the beach. Work it out. Work it out. Pause this. Once you're done working it out, hit play. So they can go to Hilton Head because it's only 154 miles away. Okay, now you're going to work on benchmark practice. I would complete 2 at a time and then check your answer. Hope you're having a great Friday.